Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL in our third place match. We're heading to Game 4 as Rogue Warriors are 2-1. You heard me correctly. If you're just tuning in right now, Rogue Warriors are 2-1 over Invictus Gaming right now. And that third game, honestly, it's very likely that Rusty's one of his 4 predictions is probably correct here.
Spot on
and
right
it could be 3-1 for Rogue Warriors. So Rusty, has your prediction changed?
I mean, I could go along this bandwagon for the rest of the time. It's like the team that wins, wins. But I'm just too happy to post pictures of Steak being happy and upset. So give me 5 games and I'll get 5 tweets out and I'm happy.
And this is now the first time that I can actually rail on you, Clement, because your prediction is now just 100% wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I expected more out of Invictus Gaming. The problem with Invictus Gaming right here is they don't really have a consistent playmaker right now. We've seen in Game 3, it's just like, it's kind of walk around the place. And the only game they had a really clean game plan was Game 1, where it was like an all-in composition. It was like basically bronze players could execute that. It's like, okay, we just follow in all at the same time, press our buttons. So for this game, again, I'm going to look for something that has a very clear initiation signal coming out from someone. The Galio is great. The Jarvan is something I would look towards as well. Yeah. Just those big engaged picks where it's easy to execute. You want to work Duke into your team composition in a way that doesn't revolve around a lot of communication.
Sure. Let's go back to expectations though for you. Like, what were you expecting out of Invictus Gaming that you didn't see here today?
My main prediction was that I wanted to see Rookie pick up Swain after the EGG series, because Rogue Warriors is a team composition that runs on very few damage threats, and Swain prospers in that type of scenario. Swain is, if you don't have enough damage, you can't kill him. He's going to dominate the mid and jungle skirmishes, and then he's just going to be a nuance in the late game. We saw that with Scout against SMLZ, where he just sat in a Zhonya stasis in front of SMLZ, and there was nothing he could do. I'm actually a bit disappointed that Rookie has not picked that champion up at all. He's actually just banned it the entire way.
It's a super curious thing as well for Rookie is the first 6 odd weeks of the split, Azir was their most banned champion. Not against him, but his most banned champion away from his opponents.
Yeah.
And that's a clear sign that it might take him a while to learn a new champion or to come back to meta. And it's not like he's bad at Azir by any means. We saw him go berserk with it through the remnants of the split after he stopped banning it. But Swain may be another example of this. That he's quick to pick up champions, but not all of them. And I feel like Swain might be the current flavor of I just don't want to play this champion, or it hasn't gone well in scrims, or we keep losing to it, and it's a needless risk that we don't want to add to the pick ban. And so it is just default to gone, because we have a million other champions anyway. He's actually got a Nivea that he's been playing in solo queue, and I jokingly mentioned Yasuo, but he's been playing a lot of it in solo queue as well, right? Like, he has these picks that he can go towards.
And Rusty, like, jokes aside, you also said, like, at the start that this is likely to go to 5 games.
Yeah.
Like, this could go either way. Like, Rogue Warriors, what did you expect that Rogue Warriors is going to do, and have they done it today? It was just like, yes, I was expecting this was the reason why we were going to go to 5 games with Invictus.
I think they've actually done a couple of things different to what I even expected. A lot of my expectations were that Duke would be a weak link, and I'm not surprised again that he was getting caught and that's why they were winning games. But I think the way that they've been winning games through the early game is something that has pleasantly surprised me. It's very hard to explain on a desk right now, but the way that Flawless and Doinby worked as a 2v2 to go from their own blue buff, when you saw the Trundle invading, to the enemy blue buff, where they didn't get it, but they killed Rookie just after he got it. They utilized their support play to place vision for this play. You're seeing this constantly compounding amount of teamwork from them that seems to be minutes in advance. I never thought I would see that from a team like Rogue Warriors, and to actually be able to see that right now is a very promising sign.
And it just means that what we've seen out of them has been actually pretty clean, not just in team fights, but through the map as well on some of those rifts. So good stuff so far. We'll see if they can actually close out 3-1 as we send it over to our casters.
Thank you so much, guys. And the final game, it could be upon us. Rogue Warriors entering into Game 4 against Invictus Gaming. Again, we've got the Swain ban away from Invictus Gaming. But this could be it, Raz. This could be the end of one of the most dominant splits in LPL history in 4th place.
Yeah, talk about anticlimactic. You just don't end it. I guess, oh, you know what?
Just keep it going.
Perhaps
Groundhog Day.
It's either anticlimactic or we have M. Night Shyamalan pulling the strings, because no one really expects what IG's kind of falling into. You already see what score they had during the regular season. 13-6 for Rogue Warriors, 18-1 for Invictus Gaming. So having to fall flat when it really counts, you don't want that to be your legacy.
We'll see whether or not they can recover in this Game 4 and bring us to that ace match, bring us to that Game 5. because this is it. They've got no more chances after this. This is the last that we'll see of Invictus Gaming until Summer Split starts. That said, we've got a very early Rise pick away from Doinby.
Yep, and two things that came true already that the desk god mentioned, Swain getting banned by Invictus Gaming, so it seems like that's going to be a core weakness that Rookie doesn't want to go towards. He doesn't want to pick it up, doesn't want Rogue Warriors picking it up themselves, even though, honestly, it would only be really Doinby if picks it up. It's an awkward situation where you don't really have tape of Rogue Warriors wanting to go towards consistently. But at the same time, Bear is coming in as a first pick, so Rogue Warriors recognize that early game is the most important thing, and so they need to secure that with that Bear situation.
Yeah, we've now got the Kog'Maw from Jackie Love to answer on the opposite side. This would be a really early rotation, and it is locked in. Cassiopeia, Doinby, blind and confident.
I mean, I guess it's the man may be blind. I see that he has eyes, but one thing he noticed
could be
was that
flexed, right? Duke could play that in the top lane.
Sure, I agree. But then you would have to say, well, what is Rookie going to pick up into the Cassiopeia? So I'm going to open that for you, because if you're right, then God bless. If you're wrong, then we have bottom lane and mid lane immediately losing out in pressure, in early pressure for Invictus Gaming. So they would be immediately looking to scale.
Well, that Ornn was left open by the ban, so I suppose you were correct, Raz. Rise, counterpicked away from Doinby, taken by Rookie in the mid lane. Immediate counterpick from Doinby to deal with that. He Flame Horizoned Rookie last game, was halfway to a second Flame Horizon. That said, though, Ornn will go over to Duke, and this is a champion that has been banned in every game of this series so far. So perhaps that could be the ticket to IG turning things around.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time Invictus Gaming has decided to second-guess their playstyle and composition. Because sure, they have gone towards late-game scaling in the past few weeks as an experiment, but specifically Cassiopeia to Rise has been something that Rookie would always pick for himself, if not, of course, the Orianna. He will always leave the Rise open so he can get a counter pick. This time around, he values it so much that he will first pick it at the risk of the early game matchup. So just because they're focusing so much on that pick alone, they've decided that it's important enough to just lose out in the early game.
That does mean that Flawless will fall down in priority for Invictus Gaming. We can see his jungle pool has been pinched as a result of that. Certainly, though, he's still got plenty of champions to look towards. Sejuani could be one, but Zach seems to be what he's looking for this time around. Lots of long-range engage and a pretty healthy front line to stand in front of that Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that's a massive front line. And at this point, the only thing that we're looking towards is what the support is going to be for Invictus Gaming. It might even be a massive swap up, and it could be an orange support for all I care, but that's just a last pick that could be flexed. So I want to see what Invictus Gaming go for the top lane, because they could even go towards a Fiora top for split push,
Yeah.
just so they at least have one winning lane matchup. So it's going to be on Mouse that showcases what his top lane matchup's going to be.
See what this is. Could be taking it blind, likely taking it into the Ornn. And it will be the Gangplank return for Rogue Warriors.
That's the thing. That's the ticket. GP top lane, you can dive that. So perhaps Duke, he either scales up with the Ornn, or the Ornn goes bottom lane, and it's going to be something that could dive a little bit more easily into that matchup. It's their pick.
Oh, Invictus Gaming sending the Ornn top. Morgana locked in for the bottom lane. With that, we've got what could be our final compositions locked in for this third place match.
And that's it. Right now, Invictus Gaming are putting their cards on the table. This is what they're going to possibly end the series on. If they lose out here, it's going to be because they're looking to scale too heavily. Top side of the match, top side of the map is just a loss. It's a null point. Mid lane, top lane is just going to find themselves getting pushed in. So it's going to be on Zach to be creative so he doesn't get pushed in by Jarvan, so he can farm up safely.
We'll see how that works out for IG, as Rogue Warriors, they're taking some scaling themselves. They've got Gangplank, Cassiopeia, and Varus. They can absolutely do work in the late game, especially knowing SMLZ's favoritism towards that crit build, Varus. But again, the crowd, they've been loud. They've been cheering on the fans this whole time. It is a bit of a risky play, but we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, and when I say scaling, a lot of it comes down to how both teams want to end up playing these fights, because you have Cassiopeia and Varus mid-range, sure, but they will have a lot of tank-busting tools for themselves.
Yeah.
they don't have really a tank that can step up other than Jarvan, and Jarvan is a mix of both. So that's something that they're going to have to look towards. If Braum and Jarvan can do the trick, because Ornn, Zac, those are really strong frontliners.
Yeah.
That has the backing of Morgana, looking to shield either the Rise to step up a lot more freely, or even Kog'Maw to do the same. Right now, Invictus Gaming have so many free ways to walk up as frontliners, and I wonder if Rogue Warriors are going to be able to stand their ground in this.
We'll have to see if they can and close out this series, because this is Game 4. Rogue Warriors in their first split in the LPL are now 1 game win away from ending in 3rd place. Invictus Gaming trying to bring it back. The cheering and chanting gets louder with every passing game. As the stakes get higher and higher, so too do the fans get more vocal. Jackie Love already stepping up to try and clear out some wards, but Rogue Warriors will be able to place it down and track where that Zac starts off.
Rogue Warriors have done so well in the level 1 portions of the game. So, of course, it was IG last time around that got a deep ward to allow their lanes easy pushing portions of it, so the early game was all right because of it. But this time around, Rogue Warriors being able to push in a ward to get blue buff vision means that they know that Zac is not going to be in the bottom side of the map. So it's clear it's going to be a little bit easier to track.
So important to keep vision on that Zac. Where is he going to come from? Ning, such a creative jungler. He absolutely destroyed Karsa when Invictus Gaming met Royal Never Give Up during the regular season. He destroyed Flawless when Flawless took out his signature Lee Sin, the first one to put a loss in that column for Rogue Warriors. And now he suddenly finds himself 2 games down against the Rogue Warriors in what could be their last game of the split.
Yeah, Ning, whenever he is able to accomplish such feats, it's always because he has adjacent lanes to help him kind of just push in bully jungle matchups. This time around, he needs that help because, yeah, sure, his blue buff's getting stolen, and it's because all of these lanes are doing so well for Rogue Warriors, and he's going to be trying to play as safely as possible.
And look at that. Flawless sneaks in. Mia pings onto Invictus Gaming. Doimby even covering the blue buff ward because he doesn't quite see where that Zac is. He's in there. He's out of there. Could be a 3 buff start from Rogue Warriors unless Ning sees that quickly and heads over. Finally, he's going to ping, but look at this. Flawless coming up behind Rookie. There's no cleanse. He sidesteps once again. An auto attack for the slow and electrocute. Plus some more damage, but Doimby soaks it for his jungler.
Let's go.
In the bottom lane, Killua has found Jackie Love. He forces the flash. Heal is still an option, but Piercing Arrow brings him low.
There we go. It's a lot of damage in the bottom lane. No potion now for Jackie Love because he's expending it here. So they might be able to get a gank here for Ning. Might be trying to bait this in. But this is a really poor start from Invictus Gaming from both their jungle and their bottom lane.
Still sitting on that elastic slingshot. We've got to keep our eyes on the minimap for this. Teleport from Rookie to get back into the mid lane means that there's no chance for a 3-man to head down there unless Duke were to teleport as well. Ning cancels his recall. He's still looking for this.
He's committed.
There's the slingshot. SMLZ steps up. And Killua steps into the river to place a ward, so now he can't head around that path.
Yeah, he has to get perfect jump. He has to get CC along with it because going into and ganking a Braum lane is incredibly risky. The kite back is real, especially with Hail of Arrows providing the extra slow. So if he doesn't get perfectly, he's going to lose a lot of HP on that gank.
Recall will be completed, and finally he heads to the other side of the map. But while that's been happening, Flawless has been clearing out his own side of the map. Completes recall, picks himself up Chilling Smite, and now he's going to head on over to Krugs and Raptors. Things are looking great for Flawless. He's a level ahead. He's 8 jungle CS ahead so far. Scuttlecrab is worn off in that mid lane.
That's secretly the reason why Ning even looked for that bottom lane gank to begin with. Because losing blue buff, he knew that he had limited camps to go towards and he would have to make the trek all the way back top lane. Flawless was likely going to be there with how much pressure he was already alleviating, or at least putting his way. So he wanted to change pace a little bit. It didn't work out, but at least now he kind of threw off Flawless's timing of where his positioning is.
Mm-hmm. For now, that does mean that Flawless is allowed to pretty freely clear his own side of the jungle. Heads over to Raptor Camp. And he's going to start to step out into that river once again. Bottom lane, close to resetting. Despite all of that threat onto JackeyLove, he did only burn his flash. He's still even in CS with SMLZ, so still keeping his calm under pressure. Definitely a valuable skill, but Flawless isn't done with this just yet. Might be trying to sneak behind them.
It's just that SMLZ and Killua can stand lane longer. They have the extra potion and the extra range, so the extra added gank potential of Flawless.
Flash. Ooh, but Black Shield keeps JackeyLove from being knocked up. Flawless trying to force even more out of the bottom lane of IG.
I'm surprised he didn't go for an EQ and then flash to see if he needed that extra flash. It would have been a reaction thing. He probably would have been able to hold on to it, but he committed to the flash before EQ, so of course it's easier for Battleland to get the magic shield across. Either way, he put damage on a JackeyLove, so he's going to have to head out on that one. So he bases just knowing that there's pressure down there. He doesn't have HP. It's the only time he's going to be able to get that for himself.
He also enables a recall to both SMLZ and JackeyLove. It's Pickaxe Dagger against Pickaxe. Only refillable, or now a refillable potion for JackeyLove, so a little bit more sustained. Though we do see a late recall out of Baolan to pick up that Frostfang. Still, though, Flawless, he's trying to track Ning right now. I'm not sure he saw that ward. Yeah, he's seen it. All right, that'll do it. Oh, Doinby. Petrifying Gaze, but eats himself a Rune Prison for not getting the stun onto Rookie.
Here's a problem now. Look at Kog'Maw. JackeyLove's trying to get out.
That's the Cannon Barrage. Flawless is there. He still has no flash heal, but Concussive Blow stuns him in place, and that's First Blood again. Passed over to the bottom lane of Rogue Warriors.
That was just a disaster in a desperate situation for JackeyLove trying to get a push in. Look at the cannon wave. He wanted to push that in fully to the tower. But if you don't have your support, and if Ning got pushed out, there is no reason to be there. So he just didn't take the necessary precautions. And losing bottom lane this heavily, remember, sure, you're going to be losing that, but you wanted to at least keep enough pressure down there so you don't lose the Ocean Dragon early. 6 minutes into the game, Flawless can just pull his lanes for it. And if that happens, then that just empowers the already strong lanes that Rogue Warriors have.
Now, we do see the tier from Doinby, so he's able to start stacking that up for mana. Doesn't have to worry too much about it in lane. SMLZ, we already said he's got the pickaxe and the dagger. In the top lane, though, Duke and Mouse are trading pretty happily against each other. That's the knockup. But Mouse is still doing all right with that assist from the Cannon Barrage, and Sheen picked up for himself. He's able to hold on, especially with Biscuit Delivery, too. And continue to try and carry in that top lane. JackeyLove on the way back out. This time he's going to finally step up again and push that wave out. But look at the CS difference. It's already 2 waves between the 80 carries.
Yeah, it's pretty disastrous. Here comes a TP. Yeah.
Started and canceled. Rookie getting really greedy with that teleport location.
Probably didn't see Flawless coming through and thought he could defend the control ward. So that's just a misjudgment. Now he's going to have to take the long trek back to the minion wave. So yeah, just a poor choice. Had he had the Zac in the area, he actually could have completed it, but of course that's just not what happened.
And that will be Flawless. Now level 6. Ning also level 6, so he can try to get that Let's Bounce, carry enemy champions away from his team. We're not going to see too much of that until he decides to gank a lane, though. And like you said, there still is that Ocean Dragon.
And here's the thing. Duke, of course, getting the Sheen for himself in the lane. That means that not only was he pushing in constantly with the minion dematerializer, that he was just hitting on every cannon wave that came through, the extra Sheen can actually start trading a little bit when he goes for those all-ins that he would do initially. So good pressure coming in from Duke, but I guess he's not going to be a factor for a little bit if this bottom lane gank comes through.
JackeyLove is down there. That's the Binding Landing. Chains of Corruption, but there's the Realm Warp. Killua goes low and dies to Baolan. Rookie joins the fight, but SMLZ flashes him back. Rookie looking for the dive. He gets some big damage and passes the kill over. Ning is actually the one who gets it with Chilling Smite.
There we go, but they get the kills ultimately, and they can push this in. This is the pressure that they wanted to get. They have a lot of points, a few rewards that they can get for themselves because of this. They're not going to go for the tower, but they can go for the dragon. So Ocean Dragon early would be a good call, but the problem here is if they go for Ocean Dragon, it would be free. But then they would lose probably a bit of chip damage on mid lane tower. Morgana Binding is the reason why this turned out so successfully. I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't think that was going to work because they were waiting on a few members with how far back they were, but Morgana Binding is going to make it that easier to just be able to get the kills.
Still, though, we're watching Doinby and Flawless control their mid-jungle 2v2 in the mid lane. They're not controlling the mid-jungle 2v2 in the bottom lane. It's been Ning who's been ganking down here, or at least looking for ganks down on this bottom half of the map. Though we could see a change in that as Duke, with push pressure in the top lane, Goes for a walk down mid. Call of the Forge God. That's Brittle onto Doinby. He's knocked up. Rookie with the Rune Prison. He lands the Petrifying Gaze. But still, Flawless turns onto Rookie. He's got the target selection, and it is correct. Cannon Barrage gives the kill to Mouse, and Duke forced to walk it off while Mouse happily walks back into lane.
Could get this kill.
Concussive Blows and Winter's Bite starting to stack up, but Duke is able to flash to safety.
Yeah, Duke, good idea ultimately, coming into the mid lane to see if you can pick off Doinby. Problem with that, and of course we already saw it, it's just a 2v2. So then that turns into a 2v3, and you're going to have a problem. Usually those ganks get set up with the jungler as well. But Ning was in the bottom side of the map, so they probably just thought they can get a cheeky kill or a cheeky flash of something. But they got none of that. They actually lost out their mid laners, so really, I would say poor communication ultimately from IG.
Ning flying into the bottom lane. Flash, but the auto attack is denied onto SMLZ. Teleport coming in from behind. Mouse is on the way. Doinby's already down there. Let's bounce just to reset position. Disappears into the cell division as Duke joins the fight. That's a binding, landing onto Mouse. He's still in the front. The Ning has still died. Mouse will die to Jackie Love. And still the auto attacks are going across Realm War, plus the minions. Jackie Love and Rookie are going deep for these kills. They want it. They want to get back into this series. But will their desire be abated? Or will it only be jump-baited instead? Doinby turns it around onto Bowland. He's looking for a kill on the far side. The poison tick, and he's able to get it 1-for-1. And the turret is still being defended by Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, IG are still on the map, though. So even though the trades went through, Invictus Gaming could look for one more extra piece. So good call from IG. Sure, it started disastrously with Ning getting caught out, but they had the members to follow through.
And that was, I believe, a 5v5, Raz. Just about everyone was in that, looking for kills. It ends up evened 4-4 when it's all said and done. But the big objective, the big try was for the Tier 1. Seems like they just went a bit too far.
Yeah, you mentioned it, of course. Went too far, looking for the auto attack to get onto SMLZ, but he gets caught off guard. So, of course, every member has to come through. Ultimate is not available for Orin, so he's not going to help out with his Ornhorn. But, of course, the Morgana binding is good enough to set up for that. So, Invictus Gaming, because of one binding, are able to get so much more. And here's the thing. What the hell is happening in this map?
Looks like Duke decided to follow up with a second dive under the bottom Tier 1 instead of recalling. Call of the Forge God on cooldown. 2 deaths onto Rogue Warriors, Flawless and SMLZ, while Kilo is in the mid lane. That means this first turret and first brick gold will go into Jackie Love's pocket, not to mention the 6 assists he's happy to have.
And here's the thing. When you get into such brawl-heavy games like these, you start to really, production, you're like, okay, wait a minute. Do we run replays anymore? I guess so, because we're going to have to run them. We're going to have to inform the viewers. So yeah, Flawless gets caught off guard, and they're already just surrounded by 4 people. So that's not going to look good if you're just 2 members like Flawless and SMLZ.
Yeah, again, 5 members of Invictus Gaming in the bottom lane. No one to defend the rest of the map, but they know they're against a Cassiopeia, and Gangplank had just recalled, so there wasn't a lot of threat to a turret race or a turret trade anywhere else. It ends up working for Invictus Gaming's favor, as Guinsoo's and Zerker Greaves finished off for Jackie Love. He's now a level ahead of SMLZ despite the pressure he was under in lane. And still, despite being down in CS, Rookie is keeping pace with Doinby.
Yeah, he is. And he's just making Doinby play his game. What Doinby wants to do is stick in mid lane and make it just the game about CS, because if it was just that, then you know what? Doinby wins that game. He has 20 CS right now, but it isn't that. It's because Rookie is so frequently playing with Ning towards bottom lane, towards top lane. He's trying to diverge attention from the laning phase and make it so Cassiopeia has to follow him, and you know what? He's doing a good job.
That he is. Invictus Gaming seem to have altered their strategy in this Game 4. Match point for Rogue Warriors, and it's working out for them so far. They've pushed all the way down to the bottom Tier 1 and taken it. Meanwhile, Cannon Barrage to clear out that top Tier 1 wave. Still, though, we're seeing 3 members of Invictus Gaming hang out over here. And Rogue Warriors, they're already pushing onto a Tier 2. They might have the turret advantage.
Yeah, that's the beauty of GP ulti. Even Rumble ulti, just anything to just clear the wave and make it so your push is faster.
And look at the trade in the mid lane. Doinby actually pushed up and pulled the minion wave away from Rookie so that they wouldn't be able to collapse and take the mid Tier 1. So Invictus Gaming's response is the Rift Herald instead.
And while that response is good, they still have to respect that mid lane push is going to happen. So if you're Invictus Gaming, after this, head towards the mid lane and look to defend it, or else you're going to be losing that one as well.
Yeah, Rift Herald now picked up by Invictus Gaming, but the blue buff was taken by Mouse. Doinby gets in there, And Ning is able to slingshot his way to safety. Plus, the top tier 1 is still standing. That gold Invictus Gaming wanted to pick up to accelerate themselves has just been slowed down. And now Rogue Warriors collapse onto this mid-tier 1. Duke is there with the call of the Forge God, but this turret's already down to half.
Yeah, they can look for a fight if Ming... Oh, no, it didn't happen. Baolan didn't get a pick off that one, but still threatens them off. So, you know what? Invictus Gaming comes out ahead on that one, just because Rogue Warriors weren't able to get this mid lane tower.
2 turrets for none so far for Invictus Gaming, but they do have that Rift Herald. Will eventually pay off, and the top tier 1 is low.
Turns out 2 for 1 just because that bottom lane turret really early on got taken down.
All right.
So just because of that, it's still, I would say, in favor of IG. So IG gets it. They have the Rift Herald. They can make a play towards mid lane tower. I want to see what Rogue Warriors can do to deal with that, because while they were aggressive and pushing the pace, they now have to play to Invictus Gaming's tune.
Yeah. Now Jackie Love with his build showing us that he has been practicing some Kai'Sa, as that is exactly the amount of attack speed necessary to get the evolved supercharge, but he's not Kai'Sa.
He's not.
He's Kog'Maw. So perhaps prioritizing something a bit different this time. Rift Herald being summoned in the mid lane. That turret is low, and just to finish it off, it gets broken down. Chelly has been so useful in this best of 5 series.
It's going to get an extra push here, unless if DoomB just eviscerates it. Wait a second.
Doesn't even need to get behind it to attack it in the eye. SMLZ is actually stepping up in that top lane. Perhaps looking for Rookie, but Rookie's playing it safe for now. He's got a ward in Tribush, control ward. Jackie Love's going to continue pushing up in this mid lane.
Yeah,
bold, but it seems to be paying off. He's got his team there to support him.
Brahmin J4 being shown on the top side is a really risky gesture.
Ning trying to look for a gank onto Doinby. Let's bounce Bacana Barrage onto the wave. Doinby
They're
actually
surrounded.
flashed to chase. And like you said, there's the collapse from the far side. The target is Jackie Love. He's got flash. Flawless is in and out. He drops the Thunderdome, but Rogue Warriors can't go in. Meanwhile, Doinby did catch up to Ning, and Mouse picks up the kill.
Yep, it was an interesting gambit. Invictus Gaming heading straight towards the mid lane because 3 people were top side, but it might be finding them something of a pick.
Binding and Call of the Forge God as a fight breaks out. Killua is low, but it goes sideways. Duke with the knock-up onto 1. Flashes, doesn't get the auto attack.
No!
Looks for the pillar, but Killua baits it out. Saved by Flawless. Tormented Soil doesn't even track it down at the end.
Oh, that was close. All right. Invictus Gaming thought they were being cute there looking for a pick. SMLZ wasn't having none of that. So he flashes through to try and assassinate Jackie Love. Couldn't get it, but it was good enough to get another member.
And that's Mountain Dragon now being turned upon by Rogue Warriors. They've got Varus, they've got Cassiopeia, they've got the Shred, and now they've got the Mountain Dragon to enhance it. Baron's up in 2.5 minutes, and it just became a very real concern for Invictus Gaming.
It's a real possibility Rogue Warriors will take this one 3-1.
Not at 20 minutes, but, you know.
They'll do it.
Eventually.
It's a situation right now. Rogue Warriors are taking proper fights. Look at that. If Baolan did not get the shield off on Jackie Love that quickly, he would have been assassinated. He would have been taken down by the SMLZ ultimate. And of course, a follow through of damage. But of course, it came through. Jackie Love's life was spared. Duke's wasn't, but you could tell how poorly that would have went.
Still, 18 minutes in, 6-6 in kills. Top tier 1 still standing for Rogue Warriors. IG haven't been able to break that down, but that being said, Rogue Warriors haven't been able to do the same on the other side, as the map is largely even outside of that, though Rogue Warriors sitting happily on 2 Elemental Dragons, controlling neutral objectives rather successfully, not just throughout the single game, but throughout the entire series. That said, though, Rogue Warriors are now set to break down that top tier 1. That means IG are free to maneuver on the other half of the map.
Yeah, so mid lane is a push that Invictus Gaming have been doing quite frequently, so they want mid lane pressure. Only question is, like, what is that going to amount to? Because there are no towers bottom side to look to take. So the right decision is for Invictus Gaming to put pressure top side so they can take that top lane tower, but Rogue Warriors already beat them to that punch.
Top tier 1 finally broken for Rogue Warriors. Even more gold in their pockets now. 3,000 gold ahead of Invictus Gaming. And still, we fight on. Ning looking for pick after pick, trying to find an opportunity, trying to find someone to carry into the back line, but Rogue Warriors have been vigilant to deny him.
Yeah, they have been. And on top of that, Invictus Gaming just not having the proper lane assignments and allocations. So now they're cleaning up on top side, but they could have been there first. They could have been the ones moving that pressure because they did have proper wards in Riverside. So it's just them pushing out mid lane without any true goal.
And now we're starting to see a similar difference between mid laners in this game 4 once again. 35 CS for Doinby ahead of Rookie. It's still only 2 items to the 2, Abyssal Mask to Rod of Ages and double Seraph's Embrace, both of which have transformed. But if this gold lead continues to accelerate, we've got to start to wonder. Yes, Ryze will be able to do damage, much like Doinby did in the last game, but he needs to get to that point.
Yeah, and ultimately, Doinby, he's just a shield at this point. They're going to try and break that shield.
Call of the Forge God. The target is going to be SMLZ. He's carried in and goes down. Killua tries to escape, and it's AD carry, traded for AD carry. Look at Doinby shredding through Duke's health. He's able to tear him to pieces. Now Rookie going toe-to-toe with Doinby. He dodges one poison, but gets hits by the second. Room Prison plus another follow-up as they trade rather even in damage. But this turret is so low, and IG cannot stay undefended.
Yeah,
he actually
low.
tries to step forward. Flawless goes in to zone him back, plus the Winter's Bite. But still Rookie holds his ground, though the turret falls.
Yeah, IG were taking the extra risk of sticking on the map without Duke Jackie-Love. The only one that was relatively healthy was Ning, and they were just trying to see if they would find that one pick. Rogue Warriors don't stick around, but that was just really risky coming out of Invictus Gaming following the lost fight that they already had.
And now things are starting to look a little bit more dire. Those AD carries, they do damage, but
Yes,
they're also very squishy. We've seen what happens when one of them gets caught out of position, when Ning is actually able to find his target with the Let's Bounce. All it takes is one.
Yes, it does. And I think that I was talking about how Doinby was that shield, and we're talking about damage dealers that are ramping up like Ryze and Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
But it's actually really difficult to get the kill on Castillo. So they decided against it and they went straight towards SMLZ. It's the right option, but not only is it difficult to kill Doinby, but he deals that much shred if he's just utilizing the poison of Miasma to walk up. So Doinby right now, you can't really kill him with the amount of HP that he has with Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He just purchased that. But beforehand, it was
Full
Abyssal
buy,
Mask and, of course, the shield that he was having for himself, the tier build on himself. So
Yeah.
right now, he is very difficult to kill, and so they need to find extra members in doing so.
Yeah, plus we saw him actually land the Petrifying Gaze into Jackie-Love when all of that action is going on. He's got his eyes on the Kog'Maw, the one who's going to be doing a lot of damage in that fight. He steps up, he stuns him, and then shreds through his health before turning to finish off Duke as well. So super carry Doinby, definitely here in force. Now it's up to Rookie to try and answer and match the damage output.
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to do that. He spellbook Ryze, thankfully, so he actually can just swap to teleport and sit on side lane, so he doesn't necessarily have to play the team fighting game that Rogue Warriors are.
Yeah.
So he can, what I would do, he doesn't have his Void Staff just yet, so he should be on side lanes. Talk about side lanes.
All
Look
the
at mid
Forge
lane
God
first.
in the mid lane. Killua and SMLZ are the targets. They're pulled into each other and abducted right back in. 2 kills, and it's IG who find a fight.
Yeah, you know what? Playing slow doesn't work if they're just giving you the kills. So
Yeah,
SMLZ
not in the
mid lane.
playbook for
Exactly.
Invictus Gaming.
So they got 2 kills now, and they might get more.
And they're turning right back in. Dark binding, and look at that. Doinby gets pulled in. He lands the Petrifying Gaze, though, and Flawless with the Cataclysm stalls the fight out. Heal is used, but Jackie-Love feeling it. He goes in and finds a kill.
That, you know what? That's the jungler down. 3 members down from Rogue Warriors. Baron is up. Invictus Gaming can either rush it. They have Zac. They can also turn. So if you're doing beat and mouse, play this one out carefully.
There's no smite for Rogue Warriors, but still Invictus Gaming are going to try and turn onto it. It's down to half health. Doinby is there. One barrel is all that it takes. Killua is in. That's the knock-up, and Baron is finished off. Doinby flashes back. Seraph's Embrace to give him some health, but Killua gets left behind. Another kill to Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, Doinby and Mouse weren't there fast enough, so when they came in, it was an easy call for Invictus Gaming to finish the burn and turn immediately. So well done there, but it was a very risky move just because if Rogue Warriors had gotten there fast enough, then that would have been a risky call.
Absolutely. Still, though, Rogue Warriors will take the consolation prize of blue buff from Invictus Gaming and that Ocean Dragon away. Perhaps looking for that later game still. They just need to not give up too much of the map. And as I say that, the top tier 1 finally goes down to Rookie.
Yeah, this is the burst that Invictus Gaming have been looking for. So now that they have Baron, now that they're going to be clawing back in gold advantage. So 2K gold behind, there's not going to be too much if they take these 2 more towers like mid lane and bottom lane tower that they're now certainly setting up for. So that's going to be really risky for Rogue Warriors, knowing that all of the advantage that they've built up for themselves, the dragons that they've gotten and neutral objectives that they've secured and had strong vision control of, is starting to fall just in front of them.
Yeah, Jackie Love is starting to come online in this series as well. He had a good performance early on in the series, but now on this Kog'Maw, in that previous game on Tristana, he's starting to do some damage. Stepping up to the tier 2. It breaks down. Ning decides to let go of the slingshot.
And he's recognized that he has a quadra AP composition, a lot of magic damage in their midst of it, I guess. Kog'Maw going straight crit. So he doesn't want to go with the on-hit build because then they would just be straight magic damage.
King,
exactly. So it would be easy for Rogue Warriors to just go straight magic resist. So now he's going to be a massive carry for this team.
And look at the gold difference. 1,500 gold lead for Jackie Love. That's a full BF sword. In the mid lane, Rookie's actually only about 700 gold behind Doinby now and is caught up in levels 15 to 15. In the jungle, it's 300 in the top lane. Well, that's a gangplank. That's 2,000 in favor of Rogue Warriors. About as you'd expect, but it's still relatively close to even. That gangplank aside, Invictus Gaming have actually got the gold lead.
Yeah, IG, gold lead, comp lead, I would say. Just because Kog'Maw, Ryze, a lot of skirmish-heavy points. Ning as well on the Zac pick means that they can actually choose fights regardless of the range advantage that Miasma creates for them.
Yeah.
And you can say that you can set up as many barrels as you want. You can put the Miasma in front of you. But if Zac jumps on and carries 1 or 2 members, crucial members, then that range advantage just completely dissipates.
Yeah, and we can see SMLZ and the rest of Rogue Warriors respecting Ning here. They don't see him on the map. They see IG step up and start to play some vision, so they decide to give it up. Don't draw the line here. Draw the line at the inhibitor where you can fight back. But look at Doinby just chunking Ning away with a quick 1,000 damage.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop Invictus Gaming. They're going to push in, knowing that Ryze is starting to crash wave mid lane. Remember, Spellbook Ryze has Ghost for himself. So he doesn't have the TP to get there. He's relatively close to the team, so they're not focusing on the bottom lane wave. So he can realm work. He's going to do so.
And that's what we see. Teleporting to the far side to group up. Ning goes in. Let's bounce onto SLZ and Killua. Call of the Forge God has found Doinby. It's a huge knockup. Plus another one on top of it. Doinby still has killed Jackie Love. He's turning onto Rookie. I cannot believe the damage that he's doing. Teleporting melee range to keep Ning alive. He leaps forward and finally gets the kill, but Doinby is unstoppable with this damage.
And that was the greatest combination from Flawless and Mouse. Put him in the bowl and just start throwing in milk. That's what happened. They legitimately rained barrels, rained nonsense on Jackie Love's head. He took so much damage from GP alone. That's what you have to watch out for. GP's getting fed at this point. Take a look at this. So Miasma comes along. It slows Jackie Love and the rest of the carries are following up. And immediately, J4 ulti, right in for barrel. Ultimate from GP as well. Demolishes the carries of Invictus Gaming. Ryze is not dead, but Kog'Maw certainly is.
The cheeky teleport just to waste just enough time for Ning to respawn and finish off SMLZ. Yes, you will have 2 members trade their lives, but the siege will pay off. 2 tier 2s broken down for Invictus Gaming, then putting them in the turret lead and still keeping that gold close to even overall. And we know that a lot of that gold is in Mouse's pocket. Yes, he does damage, but if you separate him, that's where Invictus Gaming could start to find these fights. Now, Ocean Dragon, the 3rd for Rogue Warriors, is going to spawn in 2 minutes, and Baron will be spawning shortly after.
Yeah, and this gives time for Invictus Gaming to really think about the strategy going into these team fights, because that was not structured well, and now they understand that if Ning goes in, his backline is pretty easy to target, and that Miasma is easy to force Ning, or at least force Ning alone, I would say. So you're in a position now as Invictus Gaming, you have to wait for the Miasma, bait it out before you get in there, otherwise you won't have your backline following up.
That said, Doinby has been on fire this series. I'm sure he knows how important that ability, and he just throws it on the ground. I'm sure he knows how important that ability is over the course of this fight. Duke actually forced to turn around and walk away from Rogue Warriors, who step forward and try to push Invictus Gaming back. 90 seconds for the Baron, 60 for that Ocean Dragon, and Rookie is pushing bottom.
And it's turning into a crucial point of the game. Doinby purchased himself the Elixir, so he has himself an extra bit of AP, temporary AP, just so they know they can push back Invictus Gaming's pressure.
He's finished off that Leandri's Torment as well. He has got so much shred, and all of the vision of Invictus Gaming has now been cleared out. They're looking to head bottom. Mouse is right there. He places a barrel but doesn't see them. flashes away, gets caught by one. Call of the Forge God cleanses, drops the cannon barrage on top of the minion wave, but he's already dead. Doinby joins the fight, Miasma, but Duke is able to walk it off. Look at how low he's getting. Doinby flashes in, but let's bounce his stationary Realm Warp to get Rookie back into his team. Killua finally joins along with SMLZ, but Flawless goes in. Flawless is trying to make something happen. Jackie Love goes too far. Invictus Gaming are having flashbacks to promoting into Worlds Game 5 as he trades his life for what seems to be nothing.
What is happening? Like, actually, so Invictus Gaming see the opening for a fight, and it was all Mouse stepping up. I thought Rogue Warriors had a good idea of where Invictus Gaming was, but Mouse missed that call. So he gets picked up, and then you're like, okay, Invictus Gaming should take this one fairly easily, but you can see the bit of greed that they had in that fight.
Now look at this. Jackie Love is the one who's dead. He does not have teleport. Baron is spawning now, and that is a big Cassiopeia Varus, Raz. Mouse has got his teleport. Ning steps up. That's the Miasma. Dark Binding is sidestepped. I cannot believe it. Ning goes down, and Duke flashes over the wall, but Rogue Warriors, they've already found 1 kill. They have found 2 kills now. They're right in front of the pit, and they are primed for this Baron.
2 major tanks from Invictus Gaming down. If they want to contest this Baron, they have to be incredibly safe about it.
And you gotta wonder about IG shot calling to step into the brush blind like that and pay the price. Baron picked up, no chance of a steal by Invictus Gaming. Rogue Warriors up 4,000 gold, 3 dragons to 1 with the Baron.
Yeah, they brought it back. That's what matters, and it's the skirmishes that are really doing it for them. Invictus Gaming were really close to getting the final cut, but every single time they get into these team fights, they've been just falling by the wayside.
Yeah.
You referenced
Game
the regional.
5,
Yeah, I
West
know what you did.
flashing into Team WE.
Yep.
5 members, because he was feeling it. He thought he could win the series right then and there.
And Jackie Love thought the same, so he flashed in, thought he can get the extra kill. But remember, by doing so, he puts himself in crucial danger. So he dies from it. They're already in a bad position to begin with in that team fight, but that ain't going to help it.
And now as 5. They don't have teleport in any side lanes, but they don't need it. They are massive. Rogue Warriors sieging onto the Tier 2. Invictus Gaming try to set up a defense. Ning even looking for a slingshot on the side as Jackie Love steps up and clears out a minion wave.
Important to mention, Rise got himself the rabbit on his death cap, so if they want to fight, could be now.
It very well could be. Ning still looking for the slingshot, but that bannered cannon with Baron buff breaks down the Tier 2. There's only a single Tier 2 standing for either team. This game is still so close. Finally, Jackie Love is able to step up and get some auto attacks, but Killua tries to soak a few hits for him. Nobody can step up on either team, though.
Yeah, Rogue Warriors could step up.
They've caught Doinby on the side. He heals. He has no cleanse. The staff, but no, it's going to be into the front line. Flawless steps up. Doinby tries to trade with Rookie, and Rookie gets the kill. Doinby is dead, but Rogue Warriors are going to try and finish off this fight. Jackie Love has died. It's all up to Rookie and the rest of his team, but Rookie has died as well. It's chaos on 2 sides. Still 2 versus 2. Top lane and jungle versus top lane and support, and still Rogue Warriors have the Baron buff.
You're right about it being chaotic, but Mouse could take this one in his own hands and walk up forward. It's the main point of damage here for his team.
He's trying to protect this cannon minion. It's got the extended siege, but decides not to take any chances.
And you know what? This is a Mouse kind of game. He is so fed at this point.
He's big.
It's getting really difficult for Jackie Love to just sit still and spit. He's trying to, but then he's just getting death rained upon him. So for him to just stand still in these team fights, that's a dangerous thing to do, because they see this opening in a team fight on Doinby, so it all just turns into press Jarvan ulti, throw a GP ulti on top of Kog'Maw, and look at that. He died because of that alone.
And he is able to trade 1-for-1 by killing SMLZ in the back of it, but you saw what a single big cannon did from Mouse, plus Flawless, using that Cataclysm right on top of it. It is very dangerous game to be a Kog'Maw or a Varus in, but now we're 34 minutes in, 17 kills to 17, and still Baron for 30 seconds.
We're getting at a point in the game that Kog'Maw really needs to think about his defensive options. So he's getting popped so quickly just off of 2 abilities.
Yeah.
That's a big-ass minion.
It really is.
But he's getting popped so quickly that he needs to start thinking about that final item that could keep him alive. He's thinking GA possibly. Could be a Bloodthirster.
Right now it's only a BF sword, so it has no utility but for damage. The best defense is a good offense, says Jackie Love, as he steps up and clears out that cannon. But here comes the next wave. 10 seconds, and Rogue Warriors do not step up with it. So despite the siege, IG hold on to their inhibitor line, they can still step back out onto this map, and that is vital considering that Elder Dragon is up in 100 seconds.
Yeah, and you know what? A better team in that situation would have pushed out bottom lane wave as well. So they're in a position where they can split push with the GP. Doesn't have TP yet, but that just comes down to proper coordination. But right now they're finding themselves getting stalled out by Invictus Gaming's wave clear. And so you're right, it does come down to these neutral objectives. Elder Dragon in a minute. This time is going to be another point of focus. Technically, Invictus Gaming could still win that out if they play the next team fight out well. And by well, I mean keep Jackie Love alive at all costs.
Yeah. Can they keep him alive? Meanwhile, Rookie, he's level 18. He's finished off his Rabadons. He's got his Void Staff, 4 full items. He is ready to go. Doinby, he's at 4 himself. Doesn't have to worry about boots because he's a snake.
Yep.
And Elder Dragon is 60 seconds away. Already, Rogue Warriors are setting up for it. This foresight is something that we have not seen from this team throughout the entire season. And now in their last game of the split, if they win here, they are showing us some unprecedented skill.
Yeah, learning along the road. Had they showed this to EDG, obviously, it would have done a lot better. So this is just Rogue Warriors saying, this is who we are presently. If this is the form we keep going into summer, then yeah, you have to worry about that third spot going into the playoffs, going into, I would say, Worlds. So Invictus Gaming have to recognize this. LPL as a whole is getting better and better. And so being a top team in the regular season doesn't matter if you go into such playoff bracket situations and start to falter.
And of course, Invictus Gaming haven't been to Worlds in a very long time. We know they would love to return, especially after the second most dominant split in LPL history. But now that Elder Dragon is up, Baron is 2 minutes away. Ning on the side is spotted, and look at the chunk damage. Not chip damage, chunks. Chocolatey goodness.
Ain't that good. But I will say that Ning does have Warmog, so he's going to heal himself up something fierce. So these like small openings, small points of poke, not going to be that meaningful.
Here goes the turn onto Elder Dragon. Ning is behind the pit. He's got Slingshot, level 15 to level 15. Mouse trying to pull it out, but there's a minion wave pushing bottom for Rogue Warriors and top for IG.
Here we go.
It resets into position. The 2 barrels miss, but it's still at about 6,000 health and slowly burning down.
Rogue Warriors want to play this game. Look at mid lane. You already mentioned bottom lane, but mid lane's a bit of a pressing issue, so it's going to be one mistake that calls it.
That's the miasma. Call of the Forge God. Elder Dragon picked up by Rogue Warriors. IG have to get out of there, but Cataclysm keeps them locked in. Already, Flawless is dead. Ning tries to abduct, but doesn't find anyone. He's stunned in the puddle and walks away. You can see the burn that Dragon does. Realm Warp, actually, out of Invictus Gaming. They're going to the mid lane. It's a slow recall from Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, this could turn into an inhibitor. Remember, Flawless is down. Rogue Warriors do not want to make that crucial mistake that cost them this game with how close they are to the Nexus.
The inhibitor is still there. Doinby drops the miasma early. Ning is on the side. The minion wave gets cleared out, but Jackie Love finishes off the inhibitor. And despite the Elder Dragon going to Rogue Warriors, IG hold on.
It was all on Jackie Love's focus in that team fight, causing them to put in that position.
There is a dark binding on IG's name with Rogue Warriors' name on it, but nobody walks into it. Blue Trinket spots out the cheese gank, the Fnatic brush, and now IG turn onto the Baron. Here comes Rogue Warriors, but they're not there fast enough. Ward over the wall just in time to see it go down. And now IG just have to escape with their lives, and they trade buffs.
Big win for Invictus Gaming. Sure, Rogue Warriors get the Elder
these two teams.
And this is the point of the game that we start talking about points that gold kind of exceeds. So Ornn being on the team, you start to get these Ornn upgrades now. Second highest HP point of the game, of course, you already have top 2, which is upgraded Abyssal Mask and now Warmogs. So Duke is a massive health tank for himself.
Yeah.
I can't count those bars right now. So you have yourself such a strong front line being buffed by the Infinity Edge buff on Jackie Love.
Now, Flawless isn't here, and it's double Cannon Wave crashing into this turret 40 minutes in. They are chunking it down, plus Jackie Love is stepping up onto the Miasma.
Here we go.
He's going to try to walk it off out of the back. Look at the Cannon Barrage. He's knocked up. GA has been popped. Flawless still going in, but Doinby is stepping forward. He's going deep to try and turn this around. He's trading, but Rookie is kiting it alive, trying to be the only survivors. That's a quadra kill for SMLZ and a teleport top lane. Rookie will step up, though. He's looking for Mouse. He's brought him low on the bottom side, but forces a flash to keep him out.
This is massive. Take a look at it. It was Rogue Warriors counting the summoners on Invictus Gaming, knowing that Jackie Love didn't have flash. Therefore, that was it. Jump on top of him. Layer down the CC. Doesn't matter how large that shield was. Jackie Love will not survive.
Rookie is still bottom. He's got the empowered recall, but he's going to be giving up an inhibitor here. He might be giving up more if he doesn't pull the attention of Rogue Warriors out of position. He takes the inhibitor turret, but look at the shred. Recall started and completed by Killua. SMLZ steps up, but Rookie makes it worth. Playing on a knife's edge, and still he's able to make the objective trade.
Yeah, good call, knowing that the minion wave in the mid lane was nowhere near Rogue Warriors for them to look for the end game. So, easy. Suddenly, 2 inhibitors in favor of Invictus Gaming that they can utilize. Sure, Rogue Warriors, they got the fight. And they also have a later mid lane inhibitor, which means that they can protect a little bit so their own inhib comes up and have mid lane advantage. But this is such a back and forth game, and it really all depends on one summoner spell. It's a flash for Jackie Love. Jackie Love doesn't have GA anymore. That got popped in last fight, so he can't look back on that one. But he didn't have flash. It made it easy to just stockpile ultimates. He's just bathing in GP ulti. Look at that. That's disgusting. So there's not much you can do when you have that much damage raining on you.
And I must apologize. It wasn't Doinby sliding into IG. It was Ning finding the Let's Bounce abduction onto Doinby and pulling him into Rookie immediately after he popped that Spellbinder. That meant that Cassiopeia did not stand a chance. She might shred through tanks, but she needs time to survive and get that damage output, whereas Ryze with this build absolutely destroys the health bars of anyone he finds himself across from.
Got a Spellbinder for himself, so he's in a good spot getting pushed in. So this is a good opportunity for Invictus Gaming. Their real problem is looking to play safely, looking to play this slowly. 2 waves now being pushed in both mid and bottom lane. So their major focus, they're picking it now, is to wait for bottom lane wave to crash so they can finally look for that inhibitor top lane.
Finally crack the base of Rogue Warriors. We're now at that coin flip late game team fight that could decide the entire series. If Rogue Warriors win, they turn mid and they finish this game up. But if Invictus Gaming win, we're going to a game 5, Raz.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're doing good on that promise of being able to take it to 5. Oh, and
whoa! Who on earth is that? Rookie is dead over the wall. The flash assassination. Now IG have to turn and run.
Such an unorthodox way to come back into this one. They knew. Wait a minute. Wait a second.
He was afraid. Look, Rogue Warriors were running at him. Rookie was dead. Jackie Love still doesn't have GA.
Look, I understand. I'd be afraid too after what happened mid lane. But let's relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But going back to the whole point, they knew that Ryze is going to come mid. He's going to push out and shepherd the wave. So it may be unorthodox, but they knew where to cut him. They knew that he was going to be alone. They just had to make it work quickly, and sure, the cost of it is Doinby's flash, but they get a lot out of it, which is cutting the pressure IG would have had in taking top lane inhibitor. Had the plan worked out, had the script gone accordingly, then they would have been able to get that 3rd inhibitor.
And now look at those neutral buff respawn timers. They are desynced by 2 seconds. They're going to come up at the same time, Elder Dragon and Baron Raz. And we already saw how crazy one was. Rogue Warriors, they've already taken 1 Elder Dragon. They've got 3 Elementals. If they take the next Elder, that's up for 5 full minutes that IG have to worry about.
Yeah, and this is the first time that I'm just going to say Elder Dragon is the most important one on the map right now. Baron buff has been slotted, given to both teams, and every single time it's ultimately the team fight that wins you the game. Jackie Love has flash here. If he gets himself the Elder Dragon on top of that, they win out in this team fight if he plays it perfectly. So as long as he's able to get out of the bowl from Flawless, the Thunder Bowl perhaps, as long as he's able to get out of it, then thank God he can dish out the damage. I guess he sold his GA, so now he has himself the Essence Reaver as well as the upgraded Infinity Edge.
Yeah,
so
and we're seeing
is massive.
Now we're starting to see the true effectiveness of the Ornn passive. Upgraded Abyssal Mask, upgraded Rabadons, upgraded Affinity Edge. massive damage out of Invictus Gaming's Rookie and Jackie Love. But they know what's at stake with this next fight. They know that Elder Dragon in 40 seconds is where it's at right now. Duke doesn't have teleport. He's trying to split push top. But already Vision has been set up by IG bottom. And look at Rookie. He's trying to dagger into the back line.
Oh, he's going for
Wait,
it.
he's got Realm Warp.
Yeah, with the minions, he would need the minions for this one. So it's a tough call. He's just going to push this one in. But by playing this game, you know that Rogue Warriors are going to either go for Baron or answer him.
He's forcing the recall right now. Mouse has got teleport, so he's forced to pull back and answer. Now Rookie can fall back towards that Elder Dragon. It looks as though Rogue Warriors are actually content to give up the second Elder Dragon as they're setting up all their vision around the Baron. The objective trade
Here we go.
is upon us. Baron's being started off immediately. IG happy with that for now.
And we talked about the differences of the trade. Sure, you have Baron buff, you can play these waves properly, but with Elder Dragon, as long as GP ulti doesn't steal it.
They wait out the Cannon Barrage. There they go.
Thank you.
Even Smite being used by Ning, no chance.
But with that added Elder Dragon, they can win out a team fight that has always been crucial in this game. This game, it's ultimately who wins out the team fight ends up, of course, pushing out the advantage. You already have like 50 to 60 second death timers now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you play perfectly with Baron, that works out well. But a lot of it is going to be based around who wins up these team fights.
It's all going to come down to execution during this final phase of the game. 46 minutes in, 22 kills to 19. Only 7,000 gold between the two. Doinby's over the wall. The ward being cleared out. Doinby steps up, but the rest of his team is behind him.
And that gambit's real. Jackie Love recognizes that it's all in one team fight. He's sold his Essence Reaver back for Guardian Angel, so he wants to stay alive for one team fight. That's how much gold he has.
And now he's finally got the GI and his summoners. The only people missing summoners are Doinby with that flash and Duke with his own. This is it, Rez. This is we're looking at the late game dream scenario. We got it in late game, boys. We got it.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean action, though. Top lane wave is massive in favor of Rogue Warriors, and they've been pushing, or at least stopping the push from Jackie Love and the rest of Invictus Gaming so easily. So they need a second wave. It's good that Rookie's playing the bottom lane. But what that means is that that just means that Elder Dragon is going to take a little bit of time to mean something.
That bottom wave should be set up for a slow push for Invictus Gaming, so someone will have to answer that eventually. But now mid is going to reset for the two. Elder Dragon still happily burning away the timer, Rogue Warriors. Everything is coming to a head, but the team's not deciding to butt heads just yet. Still just waiting out those last items on just about everyone.
Yeah, it comes to this point that you look at the composition once again, where Morgana to begin with was just about the laning phase push. Now, of course, makes it a lot more easier for Jackie Love and Rookie to pop off in these fights. And I want to see him just use it solely for Jackie Love. Jackie Love at this point, he's betting it all on this one team fight. It's making it harder for Rogue Warriors to pull the trigger on some of these fights. They don't want to do it if Jackie Love immediately gets the spell shield. So you get to a point where you actually just don't know when this game is going to end.
Ning on the side. Dark Binding finds Flawless, but he's able to slingshot to safety. A risky position to put himself in, but still he's able to escape. Baron buff still ticking away for a solid 60 seconds, but Elder Dragon has fallen away from IG. Bannered Baron Cannon pushing up to this next inhibitor turret. Will Jackie Love be able to step up and clear it this time?
Those are 3 massive cannon creeps right now. And it's going to be doing a lot of damage on the turret, so it's going to have to be one member that tanks it.
Oh, there's the cannon. It's going to hit Jackie Love. He decides to turn onto Rookie instead. Look at the shields that he's getting, but Jackie Love is back up. He flashes and resets. They've lost Duke, their front line, but their carries are still alive. Rookie on the side steps in and pops the shield out of Doinby. He's able to escape with his life as well, but they've still got the Baron buff. They've still got cannons coming in.
Yeah, they have the minions that they can run with. It's going to be Rookie that immediately heads right back to base so he can heal. It's going to be a final defense here without their tank and Duke.
Yeah, Realm Warp onto the fountain in order to escape. The Baron buff falls off, so it is just a regular cannon. Jackie Love takes aggro just in time. Ning goes in, lets bounce, but he only finds Flawless. Flawless is still staying alive. He goes low as Ning retreats. Binding has landed onto Doinby, but Rookie cannot step forward without his Spellbinder. And
Massive
the
wave
inhibitor,
top lane.
yeah, both mid and bottom has been broken.
And we're getting to a point right here in the game that, I don't know, man, Jackie Love needs to relax. Because I did say that somebody has to tank the 3 minion wave, or at least the 3 cannon
cannons.
creeps, so the
It shouldn't
tower
be
doesn't
Jackie
dive. Make it a tank, please. Please make it a tank. Like, Duke has a ridiculous amount of HP and armor, so he can walk up like that. But it's just not him. So I don't know why these mistakes are happening. It just feels like it comes down to crunch time, and crucial mistakes keep happening from Jackie.
We're also in Game 4 of this best-of-5 series, so fatigue is a very real thing these players have to start worrying about, especially 50 minutes in to this Game 4. And if it does end up going to Invictus Gaming and we find ourselves going to that Game 5, we've got to start to wonder about these players no longer making the best of decisions or even the best of mechanical plays. We've seen it happen in less high-stakes scenarios. These teams are playing for Worlds points. They're playing for pride right now.
Yeah, agreed. The mechanics are still on point, but the decisions are definitely something that's sketchy.
Yeah.
So they need to be able to take the small moments that are currently happening right now where they're building up to a play to start to think about positioning. Orin is out of position right now. They need to stall so their tank is ready for the action.
Now IG are just outside of vision. That's the binding, and Ning still sitting on that elastic slingshot. The wave is cleared out by Rookie. He's back up to 100 stacks on that Spellbinder. Duke is with his team, but Rogue Warriors have got the inhibitor advantage. Duke on the side, trying to contest some of this vision, but with Doinby pushing minions in the mid lane and Super still pushing bottom, it's a matter of time.
It is. That's why right now, if you're out Rogue Warriors, you have to wait for the next wave. It's going to take some time for the next wave, but the next wave comes through, they commit to it. It is a good wave to play on. Currently, mid lane and bottom lane waves are starting to build. It's going to be on IG that defends the base right now.
And now Invictus Gaming still holding on, trying to hold their last inhibitor turret, trying to hold ground in this series. On match point, SMLZ, he's all in on this right now. He's sold his boots. He's picked up a Blade of the Ruined King.
And here's the thing right now, Rogue Warriors lost their opportunity to walk in. Now gives chance for IG to hold mid and bottom lane waves. So they're just going to try and do it without a wave.
Flawless, able to tank a few hits as SMLZ just walks up, gets a few autos. The wave was cleared bottom by Jackie Love. Invictus Gaming still holding on, but look at the map in the meanwhile. There's a single ward at the Wolf camp for Invictus Gaming. They have no vision of the Baron. They have no vision of the Elder. At this point, they know what Rogue Warriors are going to do. They don't need the vision, but it would sure as hell help.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue Warriors failed their ultimate objective, which was to take down that top lane tower, at least the tower. They weren't going to be able to do that because they didn't have a member that can step up. Any member that steps up is going to immediately die. Killua, sure, he has cleanse, but he doesn't want to lose half his HP and cleanse for it.
Rookie right now at 1,200 ability power. Plus he gets an extra 100 from that Spellbinder when he activates it. He is absolutely massive. But Baron now being started by Rogue Warriors. It's 60 seconds before that Elder Dragon spawns. Both teams have already gotten one, and Baron is now picked up. Invictus Gaming. They've been sieged by 2 lanes, and now they're going to be sieged by the Baron buff, plus the Elder Dragon is coming up.
Here's the thing. IG have held on long enough for their inhibitors to start coming back up, but they have to worry about the Elder Dragon. It's very easy for Rogue Warriors now to move towards Elder, except it looks like they're doubling down on this top lane minion now.
The inhibitor turret has been broken. The final inhibitor is the target. Duke has to walk through the cannon barrage. He flashes back. Ning goes in. Looking for SMLZ. Does not find him. Finds no one, in fact, as the inhibitor is broken down by Rogue Warriors. Yes, IG can look for the fight, but they've lost so much just through the macro play of Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, they hit quick and they hit hard. And now they're just 3 massive waves colliding in every single wave.
Super minions coming in mid, bottom, and top, though you just heard the announcer. Those inhibitors will be coming up shortly. Ning has still got to defend and hold the wave, which means Rogue Warriors are there when the Elder Dragon spawns, and Invictus Gaming are back in base. Not only do they have the Baron for 2.5 minutes, they're about to have the Elder Dragon for 5.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough call for Invictus Gaming. They can't contest for it because of what happened in the top side. So, sure, you have 2 inhibitors now. But those aren't defended by towers any longer, so it's going to be incredibly easy for Rogue Warriors to just move with their top lane wave and just contest with the Elder Dragon that they have for themselves.
Ning actually just accidentally sold some items, it looked like, before buying them right back. And now, with Baron for 2 minutes, IG, they look for the fight. Binding misses. Ning
There
still
we go.
goes in. He's found SMLZ. He's knocked up. Can he get the let's bounce? Call of the Forge God. He carries them into the front. Doinby is actually chunked low by Jackie Love, who's firing nonstop. Look at the shred that he's doing. The tank is dead. Meanwhile, Baolan trying to repeat. He's killed by the Smite. Rookie is dead. Jackie Love,
It's
the
all
sole
Jackie.
survivor. A triple kill for SMLZ. He's won against the world, but it is not enough. Rogue Warriors close out the ace and close out the series, taking their win. Doinby leaping out of his chair. First split in the LPL for Rogue Warriors, and they take third place.
Yep, I mean, they did it at the end. They proved that they could take down Invictus Gaming and that they are the beast of the East.
Finally showing which of the two teams are superior when it counts. SMLZ able to get some massive kills in those fights to close out the series. And Doinby, the emotional heartbeat of the team, the captain, helping lead them through thick and thin, is able to help them show unprecedented growth in this series.
And grit. 50 minutes. And throughout, the cameras were just showing a smiling mouse, a determined Doinby. And as per usual, SMLZ, he just doesn't give a damn. He's just going to keep doing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
Cold-blooded killer.
Rogue Warriors, they get to this point of the game, and they deliver.
And with that, Rogue Warriors, in 13 weeks of the LPL, are able to do something almost completely unprecedented in taking this third place, almost repeating the performance that was expected of the Chaogu Reapers when they first joined the LPL.
And we keep hitting it. We keep hitting it. This is a great point for Rogue Warriors where they're able to come in and finish strong in third place. But my God, for a team that had such a massive, dominating split in the Spring Split, Invictus Gaming, we keep talking about it, but now they're fourth place. And so the record books will only show a team that just couldn't even take bronze.
This was the second most dominant team in LPL history, taking fourth place. Not even taking bronze, as you said, Raz. We do have to celebrate their growth towards the end of this series, finally digging deep and showing us that resilience that we wanted to see from them just a little bit sooner, but it ended up falling just short. And to that, we have to celebrate Rogue Warriors overcoming their vision challenges against Edward Gaming, overcoming their late game macro calls against Invictus Gaming.
Yes, they are a team that grew the most. They faced their prior demons, a team that hit them hard and hit them early. And they just said, why don't we just pick early game comps repeatedly? Why don't we just first pick Varus? They did that again and again. And it was Invictus Gaming that decided that they were going to be playing scaling. And so sure, they got to the late game, but it was Rogue Warriors that picked early, fought early, and at the end of the day, had a better team fight.
Absolutely. A strong performance from Rogue Warriors. That said, it's time for our analyst to break down that series.
Thank you so much, Dominic. And I just want to start off by saying, well, first off, well, an amazing game, but also striking while the iron's hot. Like, this means so much for those players. We said at the very start, like Rookie, Doinby, so much on the line for these players. And I mean, you saw Doinby at the end there as well, literally jumping out of his seat. I mean, this is nothing really new to us because Doinby, that's just his personality. But when you look on the other side, I mean, that statement from Raz right there, unable even to take bronze, like, this is crushing for a player like Rookie, who you said in your own words, Clement, early on that, I mean, this is a team who was failed to go further than third place. This was meant to be IG's time. They come out of regular season first, and not even just like first with a couple losses. It was first in an almost undefeated streak from the very start of the split, and then they finished fourth. Like, this is a massive loss for IG.
Yeah, playoffs were supposed to be the coronation of IG. They were supposed to take their crown and walk it all the way over to MSI. But of course, the Shy not playing really changes a lot of things. And we also saw the weight of that perfection. They were chasing after something that was bigger than themselves. They were chasing after something they didn't have experience with. There's a lot of new players here. Ning's still relatively new. Jackie Love is still relatively new, but they were overreaching for something that they never tasted before. And I think mentality did play a big role to that. Rogue Warriors on the other side, they were coming in a bit breezy. They already exceeded their expectations. They haven't reached their potential by any means, but they've already exceeded their expectations for a team on their first split. So I felt like the mentality there was a bit lighter They could experiment more. They can change more. They could take more blows. We could see it on Doinby. He was able to smile even in tough moments like that. But that really wasn't there for IG. They looked a bit defeated. They looked brittle. They were angry at the fate, the hand they were dealt without one of their star players in the Shy. And I think in the end, that really did come crashing down to them. And they're going to have to be looking at how to rebuild themselves mentally, how to rebuild themselves gameplay-wise.
Yeah, I don't think this particular set they were coming in today fully prepared, 100% of themselves going into the set. I kind of do feel like they were a bit defeated from the get-go.
Yeah.
They were hoping to have a good showing, but they didn't really come in super energized in the same way that Rogue Warriors did, who, look, to be honest with you, they were smiling even when they lost to EDG. Perhaps there was already the knowledge there that they haven't been performing as well as they know they have been, and they just want to refine themselves because, again, the first split rookies, third place is definitely a great place to finish and a place that you should be happy. For IG, I mean, people compare losing the Shy to like losing Khan, but I actually think it's like losing more of the Uzi type of effect in this team right now. The way that they've actually gone from like hero to zero by losing one member of the team, someone that doesn't seem to influence the map in the same way as Uzi, where you can see that when the Shy's gone, he does. Like, he's actually one of the biggest parts of their success, and with him missing, they really do struggle.
It really feels like the worst timelines just colliding all at the same time for Invictus Gaming, because it's like not only do you not have the Shy in the top lane, that breaks apart the team, and then you see the emotion come out of Rookie and out of their bot lane, the Jackie Love, at the end of their series against RNG, and it's just like, man, like, they'll head into this final game without the Shy once again, with the mentality like, we have to win, we need to at least get third, and then that happens. It's a feels bad one for sure, and we honestly just need to see if Invictus Gaming can recover, because we're looking at this team to be the representative, no longer for MSI, but still looking towards Worlds, of course, and indeed Rift Rivals. I do want to take a moment, though, to celebrate Rogue Warriors, take a look at this game and see how they did it, starting in Champions League, because Rogue Warriors, this was impressive. They were a team almost with nothing to lose, even in a high-stakes game like this. Taking third was an impressive feat.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, when we talk towards the draft first, like you mentioned, the first place you actually have to look at is IG side, and then bring that back to Rogue Warriors, because this is a question we had earlier in the day. They first picked the Rise, and things had changed here for IG. They were trying to adapt in the middle of this set, but the interesting part, and what is a pleasant surprise, is, like we said, Cassiopeia might exist. There's a circumstance in
And
which
both of
it
you
could.
said no.
I gave the circumstances, and these were one of the very good conditions with which you will see those non-shield champions. And if someone takes Rise away from you as a first pick, like a high priority on a champion that doesn't have the best laning phase, Doinby gets to pick his one non-shield champion that wins that lane, and he has an absolute cracker of a performance.
Yeah, and we talking about what the composition's actually too, this is the third time that we've seen a Varus first pick actually just close out an entire series. This is an incredibly important pick. We've talked about it. It's about the build you can do. You can go AP, you can go AD, and we've seen LPL a lot of times. We go into the rapid fire cannon and stuff. And for IG side, I actually think they had a winning composition here. I felt like they fixed up what they lacked in Game 3, and they went with something that had really strong initiation. It was go, 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 and if you look at the start in the middle of the fights, they were the ones pulling all of the triggers. This was something that they could execute on. The problem was that after they failed a couple of those executions, they gradually put the ball back into Rogue Warriors' court.
And I want to get some of these replays rolling, because this was almost an hour-long game, so there was a lot of fights. And while we get this rolling, I want to expand on that, because Clement, you literally said to me backstage, like, this is an easy composition to execute for Invictus Gaming. Like, why was it easy, and why were they unable to just easily win the game?
There was a couple things that happened in the game that changed it. So first of all, Rogue Warriors is running with two carries that don't have a lot of positioning abilities. They pretty much want to fight one way. Cassiopeia can only stun one way. So this is like a hold-out composition. They can hold ramps really easy. They can hold around towers very easy. That didn't happen because IG actually took the bot lane tower with 2 consecutive dives very early on. So IG had the complete map control in their hands. All they needed to do was threaten them, wait until they scaled up, and use the Rise teleport to instantly get a Baron.
Right.
What actually happened was Ning tower dove twice, didn't get anything, got killed twice, and then they never had the map
Rusty
control
getting hit. Talk to me about Ning and how he performed in this game.
Yeah, Ning was pretty much, he encapsulated the word fiesta in this one. He was very disconnected from the rest of his team, and it never really felt like what he was doing was what the rest of the roster was trying to do until later on in the game. I will say that it starts off super shaky for Ning, and credit where it's due, he was consistently trying to make the same plays. So if they worked or they didn't, he'd look like a Muppet or a god. And we got to see both sides of that in this game, but it started off very inconsistent.
It did indeed. We're going to start off this first replay as well as just take a look at this one. But you're right, there was a lot of inconsistency there, and it really did, as you said, encapsulate how we saw Invictus Gaming over this series.
Yeah, they really do want to fight in open ground where they can pick off the enemy carries. But Ming, you know, he goes in too far, and then we see a really silly teleport coming in here. Of course, they do pick off the AD carry, but that doesn't really mean a lot. And they also miss the teleport coming from their top laner as well. And that's not the first time that happens, by the way.
3,000 IQ, by the way. Make sure his jungler gets the kill, but then it's also like minus 3,000 IQ because I don't have a teleport afterwards. So big mistake when he was already dead. And again, that's a big fight. Ning goes forwards, he kicks it off. That was actually good from Ning. I'd say that fight was somewhere in the middle in terms of why they've gone for it, but him individually still engaged that one well.
But talking about pressure moments in this game, it felt like Invictus Gaming definitely came apart when you compare them to Rogue Warriors. And you were saying that like a veteran team, when you have veteran players like Rook in the lineup, should be able to keep it together a lot easier than a team like Rogue Warriors. I mean, like, yes, they're a team of, you know, some veterans have come two different teams onto this one, but I mean, this is still a new squad.
The problem was IG was never seriously challenged during the later parts of the season right here. This is another good fight here that I think showcases Rogue Warriors' strengths in the team fight. If they can go a single direction and protect their AD carries, fight front to back, they take away a lot of the initiation power from IG, and they're able to use the fill the bowl metaphor that we heard Raz talk about and just kill Kog'Maw that way in that team fight.
Yeah, and I want to expand on that point because you kind of glossed over it. You're talking about
the team fight popped up. Sorry.
Yeah, so talking about the end of the split from Invictus Gaming, I mean, you were saying that like they haven't really had the experience of being behind, trying to catch up because they've just kind of dominated laning phase. And then moving into today, it was very clear they had to come up with new strategies, like Rusty was saying before in those pre-games, and trying to adapt with Duke in the top lane. So are you literally just saying that they only had one style because they didn't need to adapt at the end of the split?
I just don't think they work very well under pressured situations. I think the play that you really look to illustrate that was Jackie Love flashing forward and trying to go 1v4 when the rest of his team was clearly backing off. It's those you're so used to being so dominant on the map and winning everything and being ahead that in those plays you kind of lose your cool. You can't really look straight, and I think that's the product of them just being so dominant the entire split. They were never seriously challenged. This was a team that on week 9 when they defeated Rogue Warriors 2-0, they said they were testing compositions.
And I think you can say that this is independent of the fact, because Rusty, you're talking about how this is almost like a Uzi effect with the team. You remove the Shy, and it seems like the team broke down in that. But independent of that fact, we saw what happens when this team falls behind. We didn't really see that when the Shy was playing.
Yeah, certainly. And I do think to echo like one step further, I think a lot of that can actually be contributed to Jackie Love if you were to pick an individual. I know Rookie came out on social media and said that he felt like he underperformed, and perhaps that is a way that he feels also. But when it comes to the clutch moments, it's odd to say, but it was almost like instead of taking the SMLZ flash forwards, he takes the West flash forwards, and there's like two very polar opposite results that come from those. And it just felt like in the clutch moments, you know, when they're missing certain members and others feel this need to step up, I think that is kind of what tipped their mentality to the wrong position, and that they tried too hard to make big plays when they could have perhaps been more patient, or they could have even perhaps trusted Duke more. He had a good gangplank game here. Like, what if that existed in the RNG set in Game 5? That's something that no one would have seen coming, but consistently they go towards the Ornn and the Gnar, and like, they're showing growth even in this third place game, but there's something that's fundamentally gone when the Shy is.
Sure, and on the flip side, difficult to adapt when you have to literally put in a new top laner, you know, at the end of the day. We didn't really see Duke play through the rest of the split. We had a couple games, but I know you were talking to me, Clement, and saying 60% of those losses in the regular season actually came from Duke games. So obviously they were trying to start the Shy for the longest time, but then the problems started rising in week 9 with the injuries. This had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, League of Legends is actually a quite simple game. You only play the two sides of the map. You either play to the top or play to the bottom. And what IG could do as an elite team in the world was that they could play two sides at the same time and get away with it. Like, there's very rarely you see teams that are able to do that are just so far above the caliber. But I think also when you look back at the draft phase, this is where it really, really hurt them. Because we look at the Camille, that's almost 60% banned away from them. You look at the Jace, that's also a must ban. So they're opening the floodgates to enemy opponents, really taking away a lot of their tools that they wouldn't necessarily have taken away if the Shy was there. The Olaf, the Talia. Yeah, those are things that people don't usually get to ban against them.
What does this say about Rogue Warriors, though? Because I actually don't think that many people expected them to take the game today. You said it was going to go either way, but then also flip-flopped like 6 times on the
Yeah,
test.
I
But
just
you
said
also
5
said
games, so.
that it would be a 3-1 to Invictus Gaming. I think like the vast majority of fans watching this game would be like, this was just straight up going to be an Invictus Gaming game. You know, today it was going to be either a wash, it was going to be 3-0, or maybe there was going to be a flash in the pan. We'd see a game from Rogue Warriors. But what does it say about this team moving forward? Is that the fact that he can take down a team like Invictus Gaming, yes, while crippled and wounded, but moving forward into summer.
I actually think this speaks positively towards Rogue Warriors for their mindset. I think above all else, right? They have shown that, again, Stakes, their coach, is an analyst more than he is a mental type of coach or a mindset coach. He's a player right before he was the coaching position. So he knows how to do the pick ban. They can try and do the adaptations as a team, but it's the other parts that he won't realistically be able to affect as much as he would the analyst side that I think we've seen some resilience from in Rogue Warriors. Their ability to come back to this game and look happy. Even in their defeat, they weren't breaking down in the same way that we've seen from Doinby before. And I think that is a positive sign that they've grown up as individuals or as a team, or they've just meshed very well as a 5-man unit and they know how to lose gracefully together and come back 2 days later to get a set victory.
And a man who hasn't changed and probably will never change is SMLZ, and he will take our man of the match, the MVP of this final game on the Burrows, the Stone Cold Killer. Gotta love the guy, taking 30% of the team's damage.
I just want to see if he's smiling right now, to know that he's actually finished this split with a very positive record. I know he had a great chance on OMG last year, but never made it to it. Like, this is new heights for SMLZ, and people have to remember, this guy is the heir to Uzi. He was a guy on RNG's 3rd team that wouldn't take pay just because he wanted to study UZI. And we've also heard from Reckless today on Reddit. He thinks this is the 2nd best AD carry out of this region as well. So very high praise from everywhere, and it's about time that the world knows SMLZ's name.
It's amusing when you have Uzi coming in at the start of the split and all these upstart rookies saying, we're coming for your title, and Uzi's like, well, you have to come through me first. Never forget about the 2nd in line right now, and SMLZ is having an outstanding split for himself and commands respect.
He's always going to be there, but let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket at the end of today, because it was definitely an unexpected result, but we have finished everything apart from those grand finals. So you can see Rogue Warriors with the 1 and 3 victory today over Invictus Gaming in the 3rd place match, but the finals will be happening on April 28th in Chengdu, and we'll be following the teams over there as well.
And this is an absolute classic, EDG versus RNG. This is going to be the 5th time these two teams clash together against each other, and it's going to be Clear Love versus UZI. Like, this is basically karma. You know, sometimes if there's a gateway you can never pass through, you can't grow up. So this is Uzi's chance. He needs to go past Clear Love.
Oh, this is trigger warning. This is like, I mean, you get to the end and you're just like, I don't even know if RNG are going to make it to the finals. They make it to the finals and Clear's like, hello, and like appears from the woodworks and then arrives for the finals.
Yeah, this is the thing. No one would have predicted this final except for fate itself. It is a big surprise, and the stars have aligned for this one.
Yeah, and to reiterate, 28th of April, be there or be a 4-sided object, and that will be starting at 15:30 China Central Time and 12:30 Pacific Time as well. So make sure you're around to watch it. Hello. Okay, well, that's going to be it from us. Thanks so much for watching. On behalf of myself, my analysts, and everyone on the broadcast team, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in Chengdu.